docks to dock back into their place. Give me 1 second. Let me tell people I'm back. Refresh if needed. Hey, sorry about the wait there. I'm back. Tengu Gemini says, I'd rather switch to Linux than be forced over to Windows 11. I'm going to stick on 10 until I can't anymore. I didn't have that option, unfortunately, because I do mock review work for big video game development company clients, and part of the agreement my company has with the game developers is that I will be on the most up-to-date version of Windows for security purposes. So I am required by my employer to upgrade my personal PC to, and I say upgrade, to move my personal PC onto Windows, Windows 11, rather than Windows 10, and I can't move to Linux because most of the game builds that I am doing work on are pretty solidly only going to work on Windows. When you're playing, like, builds, like, oh, this PC game isn't going to be out for, like, a year and a half. Here's our current build. You want to know that, like, any technical problems happening are problems with the game build that the devs can troubleshoot for you, and not because you're running it in Linux via, like, a Proton layer or Wine or whatever. Rule Spider, it might well be that it was trying to sneak an update under the carpet without me noticing or whatever. I don't know. Windows 11 has felt way less predictable and stable than Windows 10. I'm just glad it was the kind of crash where it just goes to black screen and reboots itself, and not the one I've had a couple of times on Windows 11, where the screen freezes and the computer just goes... makes that sound at you. It hurts my soul when it does that. Tara, thank you very much for the 24 months of sub. Thank you for the Prime sub. I just remembered my Prime is ready. Hell yeah. Thank you for sneaking into Bezos' home and going, oh no, there's people trying to unionize outside, and while he was distracted, stealing some pennies from him for me. It's very appreciated. Yes, no, my work often requires me to be, it forces me to be a Windows person, and as much as I wanted to just drag my heels on the Windows 11 thing, I really did until, like, the penultimate day, and was like, oh, okay, fine. My boss wants to literally see a, I forget what the name of the thing is, the, like, system report, where it's like, these are the components in my current PC build, so that you can see what my current loadout is set up like for troubleshooting purposes. And I was like, I need to be on Windows 11 so that you can see on there I'm on Windows 11. Okay. No shiny Emolga. New shiny here. No Helioptile in range. Is there... There's not a bench in here. Okay. Is there a bench along this side road? Okay, there might be... We might change up the shiny hunting method for a minute. Let me have a look around. Can I do bench resets somewhere closer to more spawns? What is a bench like around here? Have a look around. Don't think this other side would be a suitable candidate. Is there like a rooftop bench along here? No, this is the outside edge. Never really get onto those roofs. Okay, we're gonna day and night reset this. Yeah, I don't think there's a better alternate position for trying to get these resets. Gonna turn it to night, then to day again, because I think the Helioptile, I think, is daytime only. Kill some time until morning. Okay, let's give this like another 5-10 minutes of shiny hunting for today. See if we can make any progress on this particular hunt. They can't all be winners. We found the Furfrou real quick. We used up all... My goal tonight was to get a shiny Furfrou, to get the last shiny Furfrou. That was all I aimed for tonight. So the fact that I achieved it in 2.5 minutes and then caught a bunch of shinies that weren't the next ones I was looking for, yeah. We're already ahead of where I thought I would be ending the night. We're already ahead of like my hoped aim for the night, so I can't grumble or complain too much if I don't get more of the shinies ticked off my list, you know? I need to work out if there's a better area to do either of these hunts, or I feel like this has to be my best shout for these hunts. You should watch the Kirby Air Riders Direct the other day. Some of the accessibility features look pretty neat. Not used to seeing anything like that from a Nintendo published game. I did watch it, not live. I was getting tattoos done. I am making a video, probably... no, I've made a video that's going up this week. It is already recorded. About the reasons it is exciting to see that accessibility support not only like in it, like an actual accessibility menu with good settings in it in a Nintendo game, talked about in a direct before launch, but I also talk about the fact that like it doesn't necessarily herald a big change in direction for Nintendo broadly, and that's not to downplay how big and cool of a moment this is. But from what I can tell, this is largely the situation seems to be working on Smash Ultimate. Sakurai really fucked his hands up, particularly toward the end of development on the DLC. He was having to play do a lot of his playtesting on Smash one-handed. That got him thinking about being only able to play games with one hand if that ever became his future. When Smash Ultimate development finished, he started doing a YouTube series where he talked about game development. And around the spring of 2022, which is when Kirby Air Riders kind of started development, Sakurai makes like 3 or 4 videos talking about accessibility and the things he's finding interesting and the stuff he's learning about accessibility. Particularly, he talks about The Last of Us Part 1 Remastered, and goes into a lot of depth on a lot of the things you see in Air Riders. You can see he's learned from The Last of Us Part 1. Be it accessibility presets, the idea of colorblind filters, having sort of sub-menus within the accessibility menu for different like subcategories. A lot of this you can watch him realizing in real time, these ideas. You see him designing Kirby Air Riders to be playable one-handed with instructions on how best to create a one-handed remap control scheme. It's like, yeah, you can see that stuff. But also he does a lot of research on motion sickness accessibility around this time. Point being, it seems that Sakurai had a need for accessibility support himself. That got him researching accessibility. He's made his new game accessible. That's super cool. I suspect this means if we get future games from Sakurai, we can probably count on a reasonable degree of accessibility in that too, which is really exciting. But it doesn't automatically mean that Nintendo broadly has had some change of perspective on accessibility. What I hope it means is that people will, like, Nintendo higher-ups will see reviews positively discussing the accessibility or positive social media buzz after the direct talked about accessibility, and they'll go, one of our respected directors knows a lot about a thing, we could probably learn a lot. And, like, maybe send Sakurai for a while, like, not making a new game, sending him to other development teams to teach them basic accessibility ideas. Like, that's the hope. But, Nintendo in general, like, don't assume that this is Nintendo have fixed everything and they're going to be good about accessibility. It's, as much as I would love that to be the headline, I don't think we're there yet. Hey, Gumba Master. Sorry for the delayed response. I was on a bit of a ramble. I'm doing good. We found the final shiny Furfrou real quick, and now I am shiny hunting for a sun lizard and a flying squirrel. Good little friends. Good soft little friends. At the very least, make any future games in your catalogue have buttons rebindable anywhere. We want controller by default inside the game, not through the OS level. So, yeah, I think I would love to see that, but Nintendo generally seems to have a pretty firm sense of, no, we developed a good control scheme. Why would you need to change any of it? It's already good. Why would you want to change our already good controls? Which is a ridiculous way to think about things, but I really do get the impression sometimes that that's where they're at. Nintendo are a very traditional, set in their ways company who make fascinating things and buck trends in so many ways, but in many other ways are very, why would we change? We know how to do things, and people tell us those things are good, so why would we ever need to learn to be better? Which is so weirdly at odds with, they love being weird and creative and trying new things. I wish they had that same level of mechanical curiosity around accessibility. Hey, Daniel Eldridge. ZA's going good. I'm gonna say more than 110 hours in. Doing my shiny hunts. Having a great time. This is the kind of riveting gameplay that I'm glad I spent $70 or whatever for. It's this riveting gameplay loop that really has me hooked in the post-game. Hee hee. They are so isolated from trends and such, it makes some baffling decisions, but that is also their mentality that protects them from AI brain poison. Yeah, it's, there is a story that does the rounds, and I don't know how true it is, but, Retro Studios, when pitching Metroid Prime concepts to Nintendo, one of the concepts they had for a game at one point was like a multiplayer space shooter, but it used like a portal mechanic. And it was a pretty cool concept. You can see footage on, I think it's a Liam Robinson video about what what Retro were up to for many years and many of their scrap projects. And when they pitched it to Nintendo, and this is like many years after Portal came out, they pitched this to Nintendo when part of their pitch was like, these portals function very similarly to the ones in the video game Portal. And reportedly, Miyamoto turned around and went, "What's Portal? I've never heard of that game." Don't know how true it is. Some former Retro people claimed that Nintendo was blinkered enough about the games industry to have never heard of Portal, which is like, yeah, you just kind of have your blinkers down, huh? I would love to see Nintendo take a leaf out of PlayStation's book. with what's it called? The Marvel Pokemon Fighting Souls that's PlayStation published fighting game that they was just like, hey, we'll just get Arc System Works in and get them to make our fighting game. I would love to see Nintendo be like, ARMS 2, but we give the ARMS franchise to Arc System Works and see what they do with an ARMS game. Give me like a proper serious competitive fighting game using the ARMS characters. Okay, we're gonna give this like 3 more minutes of resets, and then I'm probably gonna call it night for tonight. We've made progress. It's been a good one, but I'm a sleepy one tonight. The clock's changed and my body clock's all weird. It's like 11:30 in the UK, but 2 days ago this would have been midnight, and my brain's confused about the time, so we're gonna go for like another 3 minutes until 22, and then I'm gonna start getting ready for bed. I'm gonna go wash my tattoos and what. Yeah, I know Arc System Works is very busy right now. Like, maybe not them, but you know what I mean. Like, I would love to see a proper fighting game developer given the reins with those weird gameplay mechanics and design concepts. Look, I'm a night owl, but I'm also I've got to be up in the morning, and like my brain's going. I'm not that tired, but I feel more tired than I would at 11:30. Why is that? Oh, my body's complaining at me. Is that a mega or is it a shiny? It was just an alpha. Come on. Go on, shiny Emolga, shiny Helioptile. Do it, cowards. One more minute to go. Go on. Can we end this as hype as Friday's stream was? Friday's stream, we were talking about how hard it is to get closure at the end of a shiny hunting stream, because so rarely will the shiny you're looking for appear around the time that you're planning to end the stream. And as I was saying this, I was like, okay, well, this has to be the one last run-through we do, even if it means we're going to end on an unsatisfying ending where we don't find a shiny Furfrou. And then, as I'm saying it, I find the shiny Furfrou. You want a night owl by definition if you're tired by 11:30. You say that, first of all, Leaf Demon, you say that as if there's one definition of a night owl. Secondly, I'm working my job at 11:30 at night, which it's 12:30 at night. The clocks have just changed. My body thinks it's 12:30. You don't know my life. I had a very long weekend with very little sleep. I am tired today because I did not sleep much of the weekend, and my body's going, the clock at the time's not what the clock says, and I had a long weekend. But yeah, I'm a little sleepy today. I've been working since 9 AM. I've been working 14 and a half hours. I think I'm allowed to be a little sleepy and still generally be like my preferred sleep cycle is wake up late, go to sleep late. You know. I'm a little sleepy today, while generally preferring being up late. Sorry, it's a bit of a moan there. Emolga, are you shiny? You're not. Come on, be shiny. Why have I not been seeing the Heliolisk in this corner for a while? Give me my Heliolisk. Stop me. I don't want to have to keep doing the run through. Well, that's the other thing, Youth Demon. The thing that really throws me is my schedule is all over the place because I work with a lot of Americans. So I do a lot of work nights where I'm working till 3:30 in the morning, and then I'm getting back up to be up for UK hours because I've got to be around for the UK people. When I go to bed and when I get up changes wildly day by day and is not dependent on when I would like to be awake. Okay, I'm leaving the shiny hunt here for today. We'll maybe be shiny hunting more of this on Wednesday. We might play some of the Switch 2 version of Ball X Pit. Might even play a bit of Dispatch. We'll see. I might just be in the mood for more shiny hunting on Wednesday. We'll see how that goes. Have a good rest of your evening, everyone. I'm gonna go